His fight scenes were famous. His talents were many. And 50 years after his death, Bruce Lee's legacy continues to inspire people around the world. Jonathan Vigliotti takes a look back.
In Los Angeles' Chinatown, there stands a bronze figure like no other in America.
When we say Bruce Lee was larger than life, I can't think of a better example than this statue.
I think it's such a beautiful tribute. This is the only Bruce Lee statue in the United States.
His daughter, Shannon Lee, says it captures his strength and dignity.
My father represents what's possible, like what is possible for a human being.
Martial artist, actor, writer, thinker.
You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now,
Bruce Lee broke barriers and bridged cultures.
Be water, my friend.
A legacy that endures half a century after his tragic death at 32. Yes, he was just 32 years old.
There is just no place where people don't know who he is, don't have affection for him. So many people from so many walks of life all over the globe.
And his life was amazing. Born in San Francisco in 1940, Lee grew up in Hong Kong and was in films at a very early age.
His first movie role was as an infant. And he made 18, 20 films up to the age of 18.
He was also perfecting his own martial arts style, combining combat, self-defense, and philosophy, and began teaching it after moving to Seattle. A 1964 skills demonstration
Test X2, take one, speed.
led to this remarkable screen test.
Start off.
Auditioning for the part of Kato in the TV series The Green Hornet, Lee displayed his trademark kicks, jabs, and punches. He won the role, but faced discrimination as an Asian American in Hollywood.
As the scripts were coming out, they would give him the lines to work on, but there were no lines. It was sort of like, hello, yes.
The Green Hornet lasted only one season, but Lee was a breakout star, and in the coming years would appear in a string of films showcasing his extraordinary talents.
I would say every action film that's being made today, everyone's striving still to do what he did.
Justin Lin is a Taiwanese-American filmmaker. His movies, which include several from the Fast and Furious franchise, have grossed more than $2 billion.
There was something that was very authentic in his sequences, in his films. It's these moments where unabashedly they just cut to his close-up, and he's not saying anything, but he's saying everything.
I've been collecting for over 50 years.
And for Jeff Chin, Bruce Lee changed everything.
I actually grew up being ashamed of my Chinese heritage because of all the negative stereotype that you see in movies, TV, even comic books.
Chin owns one of the largest collections of Lee memorabilia.
This is an original weight bench and dumbbells that Bruce Lee used.
Currently on display at the Chinese Historical Society in San Francisco. He says he was bullied at school for being Asian American.
I got picked on, I got called every racial slur in the book, so I was basically on my own.
That is, he says, until his father put this on his bedroom wall.
And I looked at the poster and then I was crying, and then it was almost like Bruce Lee was speaking to me, saying, "It's okay, Jeff, because I, Bruce Lee, am Chinese American, and I want you to be proud of your heritage."
That poster was from the film Fist of Fury. Lee would make just one more movie, Enter the Dragon.
It is like a finger pointing away to the moon.
Before his life was cut short from a cerebral edema, a swelling of the brain, in 1973.
You were 4 years old when your father passed away.
The thing that I remember about him the most, far and away the most, is how he felt and how I felt in his presence.
Shannon spoke about the death of her father and her brother, Brandon Lee, who died when a prop gun discharged during the filming of the 1993 movie The Crow.
Loss, like the loss of my father and the loss of my brother, is traumatizing. It's traumatizing to the spirit and the body and the soul. And I have to really acknowledge my father's philosophies for helping me to get through those times. My dad loved to meditate. It helped him to sort of clear his mind.
She carries on Bruce Lee's mission, from camps that instill confidence in children to developing a story he hoped to bring to the screen. It's called The Warrior, a martial arts crime drama that she and Justin Lin are producing for Max, now in its third season.
For me, it was very personal. I had heard the story that Bruce Lee actually came up with the idea that ultimately became Kung Fu. And when he pitched it to the studios, they loved it, but they realized that they can't cast an Asian American to play an Asian American role. So that's how David Carradine got the role. And so I felt like it was important to try to finish what he started.
And it's what Bruce Lee started that guides so many people today.
What would your father say if he were here? What would your father's message be?
I think he would try to encourage everybody to see each other as human beings first. You know, we all may have subtle differences, but those differences should be celebrated. We all want the same things, to be safe, to be loved, to be seen. We all want that. He said it himself, under the heavens, under the sky, we're all one family.